Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowles Central. If you don't mind, I'm going to do this whole thing in this wrap that my mother knitted for me the other day because it's cold in my house because it's January and I have the right to do that as an eccentric YouTuber, to wear a wrap that my mother knitted for me during my mental health video. It makes sense to me. This episode, this entry, I want to talk about taking responsibility for your own mental health status, which is actually kind of a basic thing that you kind of have to do eventually, regardless of who you are or where you are in terms of mental illness or in terms of a recovery for mental illness. Is what I'm kind of after. I'd rather see people flourish than suffer. I'd rather see people grow and improve than kind of wallow, frankly, because that's what I've done for a lot of years myself at different times in my life, sort of wallow in the mental illness, and that's not appropriate. It's not appropriate because it does you a disservice. It's not appropriate because it does the people around you a disservice, you see. You've got to treat your mental health seriously on a pretty important level, because if you don't, you're going to end up hurting the people around you, and I can promise that. I'm a textbook example of that. Because just to briefly reiterate my story, which I've shared in other videos, basically because I didn't take my mental health seriously for years and years and years, it just got worse and worse and worse, and eventually I did end up hurting people close to me. So, not okay not to just let it go. Sorry, not okay to just let it go indefinitely. Now, I understand that if you're just now suffering from serious mental illness for the first time in your life, or if it's newish to you, or if it's not you at all, if it's someone you know, someone you love, and you're kind of like more on the caretaking side of it, which is a role that is also uncomfortable and difficult, okay, for the same reasons. It's hard to not feel as though there's nothing I can do about this. It's hard to not feel like you're a complete victim. Yeah? And it's true. You didn't ask for this. I don't know who would ask for serious mental illness. It's a bummer. Okay? Not to demonize, not to make it seem like a really repugnant state of affairs to be in at all times, but it's an affliction. It sucks to have serious mental illness for a lot of reasons. So you didn't ask for it. That much you can pretty much take to the bank and tell anybody. But the thing is since you have it, and because you are basically a sovereign human being, okay, with thoughts, feelings, motivations, actions, all your own, at some point you do have to try to take responsibility for it, at least a little bit, at least on some level, and hopefully growing more and more all the time. So let's back it up. Let's say you are new to this. How do you start taking responsibility for it? You seek treatment, basically. You start to really think about what this is. You start to really delve into why your own limitations, your own motivations, your own traumas. Again, didn't ask for traumas necessarily, right? Why have these things combined in you to make you this way at this point in time? Go into therapy. Talk to a therapist. Talk to a licensed clinical physician, a psychologist, psychiatrist, med specialist, even a nurse practitioner who really knows what they're doing and can service you in a therapeutic way. Talk to these people, especially if you've never done it before, and take it earnestly, take it seriously, take it empathetically towards yourself and towards this other person. Take it as this is a service that you might require. Check it out. Try. Because when these things happen, when these mental health issues occur like this, and it stops life dead in tracks as it did for me, many years ago, 8-9 years ago now. It's so unpredictable. It's so unasked for. And you're reeling, right? But there is a day after that, you see. There is a, what do I do now? And maybe that's slow and coming. Maybe it's pretty quick. Who knows? For me, it was slow. But eventually I started looking around and going, well, what do I do now? Like, I can't stop participating, or I can't keep acting as though there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can improve. There's nothing I can seek. There's nothing I ought to do. Consequences become real for this stuff eventually. Maybe not in a super serious way, and maybe not for everybody ubiquitously so, tragically so, life-ending so, whatever it is, right? But you know what I'm talking about. Even if you have a little depression, you understand that relationships can be hard for you. Just in the very least. Jobs sometimes can be hard. Things like that, right? And then so like kick that up to level 10. Schizophrenia, stuff like that. That's what I have. That's my touchstone. Not to say that it's the most serious one or the only one. But it's when it gets serious like that, right? So I'm telling you, as your eccentric YouTube friend with the wrap that his mother knitted for him the other day to avoid the cold in his house. It's okay to get a little help. In fact, it's desirable if this is impacting you in a way that you prefer it not. It's not a silver bullet necessarily. It can help, especially depending on who you talk to and what kind of person you are in receiving it and really putting it into action, because ultimately a therapist can show you the door, but you got to walk through that door. And that's kind of the next step. Go to therapy, sure. Step 2, practice what they preached to you. Okay? Do the things that they said to do. Apply it to yourself. Apply it to your life. And repeat. Okay? Hard work. You've got a lot to untangle. You've got a lot to unravel, because these things happened to you in most cases, didn't ask for it, have to deal with it still. Not optional about that. Yeah? And that's step 2. And then hopefully step 3, somewhere thereabouts, maybe not precise step 3-age, we start seeing improvement. But again, a therapist can help you. They can ask the right questions for you, or help guide you into asking the right questions. Very helpful. But this is about you. Cat going off as usual. Cat bomb. It's a weird place. So anyways, I guess that's all I really wanted to say. It's important to take your mental health seriously. And I understand that if it's new to you, or if you're unsure about what this is, and or if you're just like a caretaker or something like that. I understand it's intimidating and that you might not know what to do. That's the thing to do. Seek help, good help. And good help can be found for most people. Depending on where you are. I won't say that, because that's a little presumptuous to assume that everybody has access to good help all the time. If you can get access to help, get help, seek it out. Even if you can't, like, research it. Like good solid researching things on the internet. Mayo Clinic or stuff like, things like that. Places that actually you can trust, take to the bank. There's also web-based therapy now, which I have heard good things about, haven't tried it myself. There's books that you can buy, 1 billion books. Research with the best ones of those. Learn about your illness. If you're a caretaker, learn about your loved one's illness, the friend, the family member, the spouse, the partner, the sibling, whatever. Learn about it. If it's you, learn about it. And then if you can, get someone to help you, a therapist of a sort, a good sort, to guide you through the process of trying to start to unravel that for you. And then work. And that's what you got to do to get better. And you do want to get better, trust me. Life's worth living. Life's too short not to try to get better. Get better. Try. You owe it to you. You owe it to your friends, your family, your loved ones. You owe it to the world because you've got a lot to offer. I promise. I don't know you. You don't know me. You know more about me than I know about you. But you have something to offer. Okay? That's what I got to say this week. Like, subscribe, check out some of my other videos. I do video games too. And music. I make music too. Check it out. Subscribe. Hang out a while. All right? Talk to you next time. We do one of these every week and a half or so. Okie dokie. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.